I'm so disgusted we didn't get 40 out of that kid. Hey, welcome back to the Tiernan Center. Great to have you with us as we get set for game number 2 this morning. We are in the consolation bracket. In our second game, it is South Bend Adams against Indianapolis Homeschool. Both teams losing tough ones yesterday. South Bend Adams dropped a contest to Connorsville 64-51, and Indy Homeschool losing to Zionsville 84-64. One game in the books earlier today, as we saw the Illinois Crew knock off Lighthouse East, and so they have advanced. The Crew will play today at 6 o'clock. They play the winner of this game, and then Lighthouse East, they move on to the consolation bracket, and they'll play at 3 o'clock. They play the loser of this game. Those two games will take place at IU East. When we come back in a few moments, we'll get this one tipped off. It is our second of another 8-game day here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. We'll go through the 4 games on the losers bracket, and then we'll have the 4 games in the winners bracket. That'll start later today at 4 o'clock. Stay right there as we continue broadcast coverage of the Wettig Tournament. All the action is always right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
We check 'em better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Tiernan Center, game number 2 today. You can check out our website, radiotroy.com, for a list of all the games we'll have broadcast this morning and this afternoon, as the Wildcats of Indianapolis Homeschool will be the traveling team today. Noah Shook, a 6-foot junior. He starts along with Jake Roscoe, a 5'10 senior. Luke Ruddle, a 6'1 junior, gets the start. Also Miles Johnson, a 20-point performance yesterday. He is a 6'6 senior. And Mitchell Wirtz, a 6'4 junior. That's your starting lineup for the Wildcats. As for the South Bend Adams Eagles, it'll be Ben Foster, 6'1 and a senior. Chuck Worsham is a 5'11 sophomore. Quintez Columbus, a 5'11 sophomore. He had 20 points in yesterday's loss. Also for South Bend Adams, Sidney Jeffries, a 6'1 sophomore. And then Shaq Johnson, 6'1 and a senior. Eagles will be in their home whites. You see right there, that is Shaq Johnson jumping it up in the middle against Miles Johnson, and it'll be won by the Wildcats of Indy Homeschool. So game 2 is underway here at the Tiernan Center. Winner will play the Crew of Illinois, and there's a turnover by the Wildcats, their first of the morning, and it'll be Eagles basketball. Connorsville beat South Bend Adams yesterday, really got up to a slow start. In fact, both teams really didn't play very well early, but Connorsville eventually picked up the win and advanced. They play Zionsville coming up later this afternoon at 5:30. Zone defense by the Wildcats. South Bend Adams, their first shot no good, and they'll get the offensive rebound. This is Jeffries. Columbus had a nice game yesterday. That one in and out, and the rebound by Miles Johnson. Johnson, 20 points in their loss. The A.J. Rogers came off the bench for Homeschool. He finished with 13. Wildcats in the half court against man-to-man. Ball tip, turnover number 2 by the Wildcats. 2-on-1 break the other way, and there's a block shot. Luke Ruddle coming back, the 6'1 junior, to reject that one out of bounds. So now the Eagles will inbound the basketball from the baseline. Good look now at number 23, Shaq Johnson, and we've got a whistle and a foul, 2-shot foul. Boy, both these teams not a ton of size, though. You look at Homeschool, they do have Miles Johnson at 6'6" and Mitchell Wirtz at 6'4". Here is Shaq Johnson at the line, 6:50 remaining here in the opening period, and we are on the board. The Eagles, early lead of 1-0. That last foul called on Noah Shook. He picked up his first. Second free throw is off the back of the iron, and the rebound by Miles Johnson. So Homeschool basketball, the Wildcats will get it to Johnson, shot faking the drive. This is Shook. Back to Johnson, and a lot of contact, no whistle. It's going to go out of bounds off Jeffries. Wildcats will inbound. Again, the winner of this will play at IU East later. There's Miles Johnson, the first 2 points for the Wildcats. It's 2-1. That'd be a good matchup against the Crew. They played really well today, shot the ball extremely well. They're going to give either one of these two teams fits. That missed shot by Ben Foster. Back the other way, here come the Wildcats. Boy, look out, is wide open Miles Johnson, the easy 2, and it's 4-1. Wildcats on top. And it'll be Adams basketball. Worsham off the drive, feeds inside, layup good by Shaq Johnson. And it's back to 1-point ball game. This is Miles for 3, short. Rebounded by Columbus. And Columbus trying to feed it inside, turnover Eagles, and an easy layup at the other end, good by Luke Ruddle. Wildcats lead it by 3. First turnover by South Bend Adams. Good pass inside, missing the layup is Shaq Johnson. One and done there for South Bend Adams. Indy Homeschool basketball, near walk that time by Shook. Here's a 3 on the way, good by Mitchell Wirtz. Wirtz, the 6'4 junior, stepping to the outside to hit the 3. And it's now 9-3. See right there, the Wildcats stay in that zone. It's been tough early here for South Bend Adams. They'll extend that zone beyond the three-point line. Another missed shot by Foster. The putback underneath, this time good by Sidney Jeffries. And Jeffries on the board for the first time this morning. 9-5, back to a 4-point lead now for the Wildcats. That is Miles Johnson across the timeline. Roscoe in the corner, and the shot missed by Ruddle. And here come the Eagles once again. Columbus on the right wing. That three is no good. Ball tipped and rebounded underneath by Wirtz. Here come the Wildcats. They want to run the floor, and they will. Layup good by Roscoe. South Bend Adams will have to be better in their transition defense. 3:53 to go in the opening quarter. Back to a 6-point lead for the homeschool Wildcats out of Indianapolis. Trying to get a win here and keep things rolling in the consolation bracket. There's a drive and a bucket good by Foster. 4-point lead. Boy, wide open on the left wing was Roscoe. Tried to pass it inside to Wirtz and almost lost it. Wildcats look inside to Johnson. Johnson, a size advantage down low against Jeffries, and an offensive foul against Miles Johnson. That is his first, the third turnover now for the Wildcats. Wirtz is out of the ball game. A.J. Rogers, 13 points in their loss yesterday, will check into the lineup now for the Wildcats. And Northwest, take that back, Indy Homeschool is going to get the timeout right here. We will take a timeout as well on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Indy Homeschool 11, South Bend Adams 7.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
4-point lead early in this one. Homeschool on top by 4. Quick timeout by the Wildcats, and it'll be South Bend Adams basketball. That's Worsham off the drive, blocked by Johnson, and last touched by Worsham. So the Eagles get charged with a turnover. That'll be their second. Roscoe across the timeline, trying to get it inside to Miles Johnson. Turnover Wildcats, that's their fourth. Our last game, we saw Lighthouse East turn the ball over 26 times in their loss. Got to really take care of the basketball. Day 2 of this tournament, and again, by the time we get to this afternoon, a lot of these teams will have played their second game, and then you got to kind of wait around, and that's always a tough part to do, though many of these players are used to it playing AAU basketball. At the high school level, a little bit different. South Bend Adams basketball. They try to force it down low to A.J. Rogers. Third turnover. Homeschool on the run, and that'll be Seth Sutherland with the basket. Sutherland is checked in, a 6'1 senior. Homeschool back now to a 6-point lead. The Wildcats in that zone. In fact, really a matchup zone right here. Adams basketball. Columbus now inside to Shaq Johnson. 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Johnson nearly losing that one as he dumps it to Worsham. Nothing there. Good defense right now by the Wildcats. Crowd that is watching this one for Indy Homeschool very pleased with what they're seeing early, as that should have been a travel right there. No whistle. Foster rolled over the basketball. That is a travel, but got away with it. There's a drive. Foster blocked inside by Johnson. Foster able to get it back. Eagles basketball. Boy, a long possession here, and then a turnover. 4 turnovers now by the Eagles. Wildcats basketball. That was a long possession. Long time to play defense for the Wildcats as well. 1:03 to go. Indy home school with a 6-point lead so far, holding South Bend Adams to just 6. There's Johnson, got the defender in the air, waited for him to go by. Miles Johnson with 6, the 6'6" senior. Now giving the Wildcats an 8-point lead as we're down to 40 seconds in the opening quarter. Wide open three by Columbus, no good. High for the rebound, A.J. Rogers. Here come the Wildcats on the run, and a blocking foul on South Bend Adams, and that's going to put Noah Shook at the line for 2. Columbus will pick up the foul. That is Quintez Columbus. We're going to see Kyron McClatchy come in. First one got a nice roll. Wirtz is back in for the Wildcats. We mentioned there that McClatchy is checked in for the Eagles. One more now for Shook. Biggest lead of the ball game now for the Wildcats at 10, under 30 seconds remaining. Here in this first quarter of play. Worsham, the pull-up, no. Rebound, Foster, put back, yes. Foster now with 4, 10 seconds remaining. A.J. Rogers, 6 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Rogers will take it himself, ran into his teammate, and still scored. A.J. Rogers finishing it out in the opening period, and after one on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, there you see it. Wildcats on top of the Eagles, 19-9. This is the Wettig Tournament at Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Wish me luck, we've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with comprehensive auto repair services that include car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. You'll be hard-pressed to find the same level of expertise that our auto mechanic specialists provide. For a high-performing vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, call 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
10-point lead, quarter number 2. Wildcats on top, South Bend Adams basketball to begin the second quarter. Well, you see the Wildcats really extending their matchup zone. They play this very well. Worsham. Hard to find penetration right now against this zone. Jeffries baseline, ball movement out front, Foster down the lane. I just said penetration was difficult. They got that defense to overshift, and another offensive rebound as Shaq Johnson will now go to the line. Key again is try to get that defense to shift over enough where you can find a lane to get to the rim. Mitchell Wirtz will pick up the foul. First free throw by Johnson, no good. He has 3 now, 1 of 3 from the line. Second free throw now by Johnson. 4 now by Shaq, lead at 9. Quickly the other way, running the floor, the big fella himself as Mitchell Wirtz will lay it in. Wildcats lead it by 11. How about the big guy? 6'4" and a junior. Of course, the transition defense right there for South Bend Adams not very good. Chad Johnston can't be happy. There's Foster. His baseline shot line drive is good. That's McClatchy And a turnover by the Wildcats. 5th turnover now by Indy Homeschool. We will see a change as Lynn King will come in for South Bend Adams. Out of their lineup, Sydney Jeffries. A little chance now for the Eagles to close the gap, currently at 9. Entry pass, good ball movement. Here's a baseline shot, no good by King. Quickly out on the run once again. Wildcats, quick pull-up shot on the way, missed. Ruddle can't get it to go. Ball goes out of bounds. And last touched by A.J. Rogers of Indy Homeschool. You can hear Coach Chad Johnston telling his players to be strong. And, boy, you certainly have to. And a game like this one is going to get really physical at some point. You have a feeling the way that these two teams like to battle down low. And there's an example right there as Shaq Johnson can't get that shot to fall. Wildcats basketball again. How about that move to the basket? It is good by Luke Ruddle, and he will be fouled. Ruddle now with 4. That's a pretty strong move right there by Ruddle. James Williams ready to come in now for South Bend Adams, a 6'1 sophomore. And Seth Sutherland will come in as well again for the Wildcats as Jake Roscoe gets a chance to sit down. 6:10 remaining in the quarter. And the three-point play not completed by Ruddle. Still an 11-point lead. Ball tipped in the air. It'll stay with the Eagles. Here's a 3 on the way by King, and it's good. So King getting his first basket of the morning. Back to an 8-point lead. Wildcat basketball, great no-look pass. That was Ruddle finding his teammate Noah Shook for the easy 2, and we've got a timeout on the floor as South Bend Adams, their head coach, not happy with the team's defense. We'll take a quick timeout. 25-15 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Well, South Bend Adams, their head coach, Chad Johnston, gave them what my grandmother used to call a what for. About their defense during that timeout is South Bend Adams missing, and Shaq Johnson the putback off the miss. Homeschool wasting no time on their transition offense as Shook misses the 3. McClatchy the other way. Worsham inside to Shaq Johnson. He'll be fouled by Miles Johnson. So Miles of Indy Homeschool picks up his second. Stella used to say, I'll give you a what for if you don't pay attention, and that's what Coach Johnston just did. May have gotten their attention as Shaq Johnson at the line. First one is no good as Shaq has struggled a little bit from the line. 2 of 5 from the free throw line here in the first half. 5:15 remaining. Second one is short and rebounded by Ruddle. So Wildcats basketball. Wide open. Here Shook for 3. Missed it. Johnson goes to the floor. That is Miles Johnson. He got hooked up with Lynn King. And by the way, it was King who got the brunt of Chad Johnston during that last timeout. And so the foul called on Miles Johnson. That's going to be Miles' second. So South Bend Adams basketball as we made it into the 5-minute mark. Drive down the lane. Scoop shot no good by Worsham. And one and done is Miles Johnson with a rebound, and then losing it out of bounds. That'll be a turnover by Luke Ruddle. 6th turnover now by the Wildcats. Brotherly Worsham coming out of the lineup after that last shot. Quintez Columbus checking into the lineup now for the Eagles. We will try at some point throughout the rest of the day to give you more Stella-isms and wise sayings from Stella, my grandmother from Missouri, the Show Me State. Adams down in this one by 8 with the basketball. Shaq Johnson, undersized post player. That one off the glass, good. 6'1" senior, strong underneath. 6-point ball game now. Wildcats on top. Sutherland gives it off now to Ruddle, and he tried to get it back to Sutherland on the right corner, but knocked out of bounds. Good deflection there by Columbus. Roscoe back in now for the Wildcats. 4:04 remaining in the second. Miles Johnson, he was about ready to draw the double team. Sutherland will dribble out of the corner and now set it up again. Here is Ruddle. This is Miles Johnson deep in the corner. And contact, boy, offensive foul. That's a tough call against Miles Johnson. That's going to be his third. I thought he got the split there between James Williams and the other defender, but apparently not. And so we'll see Mitchell Wirtz come in. 7 turnovers now by the Wildcats. And again, Miles Johnson just picked up his third, 6 points. He'll have to leave the ball game for the rest of the first half. Columbus, skip pass, near side to King. They'll work it back around the perimeter. That three is no good by McClatchy. Offensive rebound by King. South Bend will get it back again. Pull-up jumper good by Columbus. His first 2 points. It is now a 4-point ball game, and the Wildcats on the run again. They will throw it out of bounds, intended for Sutherland. That'll be 8 turnovers now by the Wildcats. And we're coming up on the 3-minute mark here in the second quarter. South Bend, Adams hanging right in there here in the first half. They were down double digits. Here is Shaq Johnson. He's going to take it in strong, and Shaq Johnson at 6'1" against the much bigger Wirtz and still able to score. It is now a 2-point ball game, and guess what? Homeschool turning it over again, and the Wildcats are going to get a timeout. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, it's a 2-point ball game. This is the Wettig on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
2:47 remaining here in the first half of play. South Bend Adams hanging right in there as Indy Homeschool Wildcats turnover after turnover in their last couple of possessions. They get the timeout as now the Eagles have a chance to tie this ball game. Winner moves on to play the Crew out of Illinois at 6 o'clock tonight. A little more rest time. Loser will play 3, and we've got a foul. That'll go against Jake Roscoe. That'll be the 7th team foul now on the Wildcats. So we will head to the free throw line. Quintez Columbus, 20-point performance yesterday. This is his first trip to the free throw line. He's a 5'11 sophomore. In the front end of the 1-and-1. Chance to tie the game right here. Well, the Eagles battling back here, tying this one now at 25. Wildcats basketball, they've really struggled in their last 3 or 4 possessions. Coming up on 2:20 to go. And that'll be a hand check foul against Shaq Johnson. He just picked up his first. Chad Johnston talking with the official, and they share pleasantries together, which is very rare for coaches and referees. It's like the Democrats and the Republicans getting together. 2:08 remaining. This is Ruddle. Sutherland nearly steps out of bounds, gets the high screen, misses, and the rebound by Williams. So now the Eagles a chance to take the lead here in the first half. Down the lane, pass attempt as Shaq Johnson can't hold on to it. Well, that's one of those that Quintez Columbus probably should have shot the basketball. Shaq Johnson, I think, was getting himself in position to rebound, not expecting the pass. Chuck Worsham in, the 5'11 sophomore, now for the Eagles. And we're still tied at 25 with 1:40 to go in the first half. On the drive, A.J. Rogers, and a foul call. A.J. Rogers is a 5'11 senior. He is an undersized type player, very strong. He reminds me a lot. Reminds me a lot of what you see in a Shaq Johnson of South Bend Adams, as we see Ben Foster come back in. 135, no shots on that play, by the way, as Wirtz losing it out of bounds, and the two officials looking together, and whose basketball will it be? The underneath official says, well, then that nice, they hugged each other. And we're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow will be in favor of the Wildcats. That's nice. I like to see us all come together like that. I think we should all have name tags. Here off the inbound, Shook for 3. Shaq Johnson high to get the rebound, quick outlet to Worsham, and then Worsham loses it out of bounds. Only the 5th turnover now for the Eagles in the first half. If you think about it, if we all had name tags, we could all say, hey, Suzanne, you say, hey, Troy. It'd be a more friendly world. 1:19 remaining. Here is the big fella stepping out again. Wirtz missed an offensive rebound. Put back good. There is A.J. Rogers. Guy can rebound at only 5'11". And now under a minute remaining. Wildcats with a 2-point lead. Here's a 3 on the way. Good. That's Foster. 7 points now by Ben Foster. Now 1-point lead for South Bend Adams. 40 seconds remaining. A.J. Rogers on the drive, lost it. 10th turnover now for the Wildcats. See if South Bend Adams, well, they won't play for one because they just turned it over and then gave it right back. And then the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Wildcat basketball. So now 7 turnovers by South Bend Adams, 11 turnovers by the Wildcats. Boy, a gutsy move right here as Miles Johnson will check back into the lineup. He has 3 fouls. And the Wildcats are going to put him back in the lineup, so they're going to hope he doesn't pick up number 4. It's a real gutsy call with now 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's a three by Shook, no good. And the rebound, Shaq Johnson. Eagles basketball, see if they'll play for one. We say that, but a lot of times we've seen teams come out and shoot immediately. Worsham off the drive, left hand, no. And the rebound, Williams put back, yes, James Williams. So Williams able to get the offensive rebound and the putback. And we are now at halftime on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. It is South Bend Adams on top of this one, 30-27. We'll come back with the halftime numbers in a moment right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com. Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft-Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. Are you looking for the right place to work out? A place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond, Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Indiana University East is growing. Enrollment has doubled since 2007, and IU East is the university of choice in this region. With athletic programs, internship opportunities, bachelor's and master's degrees, and a growing number of degree programs on campus and online, it is easy to see why IU East is a leader on campus and in the community. Learn more about the many opportunities Indiana University East offers at iue.edu. IU. Focused on you.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
At Harrington Hogue, we believe your life belongs to you. That's why we work hard to make sure that your insurance coverage is the last thing you have to worry about. So when it comes to keeping you protected,
we got this.
We welcome you back to the Tiernan Center. It is day 2 of our 12th annual Bob Wettig Memorial Tournament. We have 6 more games on Radio Troy following the 2 morning games we have now had or about to complete game number 2. There you see the halftime score. South Bend Adams down early, coming back, now taking the halftime lead 30-27. Hey, when you're visiting the Richmond area for events like the Wettig Classic, make sure you stay at the Best Western Classic. At the Best Western Classic of Richmond, you get the most amenities available in this area, including an indoor pool, fitness center, conference space, free buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and, of course, a clean, quiet, comfortable room. Best Western Classic of Richmond. Check them out, 533 West Eaton Pike. Go and check out our first half numbers. Let's start with South Bend Adams. Eagles had 1 player in double figures. That was Shaq Johnson with 10. 7 points by Ben Foster, 3 by Lynn King, 4 by Quintez Columbus. Sidney Jeffries with 2. Also, Kyron McClatchy finished with 2. James Williams, he finished out the first half with his lone basket, 2 points in the first half. South Bend Adams with 7 turnovers in the first half. For the Wildcats of Indy Homeschool, 4 points by Noah Shook, Roscoe with 2, Sutherland with 2, Ruddle with 4, A.J. Rogers with 4, Miles Johnson with 6, 3 fouls in the first half, and Mitchell Wirtz with 5 points. Wildcats turned the ball over 11 times in the first half, so that's one area they'll look to adjust and make sure they cut those down in half number 2. But right now, South Bend Adams holding on to a 3-point lead. Again, the winner plays the Crew out of Illinois coming up tonight at IU East at 6. The loser will play Lighthouse East at 3 o'clock. That game also at IU East. No broadcasts will come from IU East coming up today. We will take a final timeout here at halftime. Your second half coming up in just a moment right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Finding just the right used car can be a daunting task unless you shop at Tony's Car Sales in Richmond. Hi, this is Troy Naragowski. I can guarantee you one thing. Tony's professional staff will help you every step of the way without all that pressure of buying a new car. Hey, I bought my last 2 cars from Tony's, and it has been a great experience every time. Tony's has lots of one-owner cars, SUVs, and trucks ready for you today. Tony's Car Sales, 250 National Road West in Richmond.
At the Reed Orthopedic Center, our physicians and support team devote themselves to helping you return to a healthy and active lifestyle. Our expertise includes shoulder, elbow, foot, ankle, hand, wrist, hip, and knee injuries, as well as pain management and rehabilitation and school athletic training programs and sports medicine. We are committed to providing you with the best possible orthopedic treatment that we can. To request an appointment at the Reed Orthopedic Center, call 765-935-8905.
The Purdue Polytechnic Institute in Richmond is part of a statewide network that offers the same technology degrees available in West Lafayette. The benefit of earning your degree at the Richmond location is that the campus is small enough to provide you with dedicated one-to-one attention while you earn your degree from Purdue University. Purdue Polytechnic of Richmond. Give them a call at 973-8228 or go to their website for more information at polytechnic.purdue.edu.
As an internet service provider, Parallax Systems offers reliable residential high-speed internet service and business service. With a fiber backbone reaching over 150 miles, we have created a multifaceted delivery system. Our dark fiber leasing has proved beneficial to public and private sectors alike. Parallax serves Wayne County and surrounding areas. Parallax Systems, when speed matters, a division of Richmond Power and Light.
Back here at the Tiernan Center as we get set for the second half, Eagles and the Wildcats here in our consolation bracket. Of course, it will continue again later today, and we'll let you know how things turn out as we go throughout the entire morning and afternoon as we're coming up on 11:30 here in the Richmond area, and that means we'll get into that afternoon bracket in about 45 minutes or so. It will be South Bend basketball to begin this third quarter. Eagles attack. That shot in the corner good, and the three-point basket by Ben Foster, his second three-pointer. And South Bend Adams now leading it by 6. That is Ruddle out front. Shook looking for his big guy inside. Wirtz, nothing there. Here's a dribble drive and the kick by Roscoe, and knocked out of bounds. The Eagles able to get a deflection. Inbound, here's Johnson. 2 defenders in the air, and one of those will pick up the foul. Looks like they may get James Williams. Wait and see if they get Shaq. It will be Williams on the foul. Here's Miles Johnson, 6 points in the first half, but again limited because of foul trouble. This is his first trip to the free throw line, and for the Wildcats, a successful one. He now has 7. One more now for Johnson, the 6'6" senior. And a 4-point lead. Following this game, we'll have Franklin and Indy Northwest. Eagles one and done on that trip. Here come the Wildcats again as that ball knocked away. Ruddle for 3, no. Shaq Johnson the rebound, and here come the Eagles the other way. This is a 3 from the left side, no good. Rebound by King, and a whistle and a foul, and we'll go back to the line. Boy, Lynn King is rebounding better after he got a little rear end chewing in that first half. Foul's going to be called against Roscoe. Lane King, the 6'2" sophomore, back in for his second. So King now with 4. Back to a 5-point lead. Here is Wirtz for 3 now. And the ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Miles Johnson of Indy Homeschool. So now the Eagles will try to build on a 5-point lead here in the third quarter. That's a little 1-4 high now for the Eagles. Skip past Worsham. A nice job getting it to Shaq Johnson. Now with 12. And there's another turnover. Wildcats with their 12th turnover, and they're going to talk about a timeout on the floor on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Eagles lead it by 7.
New Vision Sports is a training program that focuses on the training and improvement of this serious-minded athlete, including all ages and skill levels. From creating customized workout plans to providing ongoing motivation and support, New Vision strives to help you achieve your training goals. Their trainers use a variety of effective workout plans based on your specific goals. New Vision Sports, 977-5831, or go to their website, newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z.
Hey, today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub. No artificial flavors or colors, only $3.50. Every Thursday, the Italian BMT, Saturday, the Black Forest ham, and Sunday, the meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. Well, the Wildcats had to get an early timeout here in this third quarter, 6:15 remaining. Trying to settle this team down a little bit as they have turned the ball over 12 times here. They don't want South Bend Adams to get too far ahead and trying to play catch-up basketball. There's a near travel by Williams. Trying to get it inside to Shaq Johnson. He and Miles Johnson really getting physical. Boy, Shaq, though, giving up about 4 inches. That is Shaq at the top. Now Worsham. Nice pass inside. Layup good by Shaq Johnson. Boy, if he were about 6'4", how tough would Shaq Johnson be? But still pretty good, even at 6'1". 38-29. Wildcats trail with the basketball. Wirtz got up to a good start. He's been quiet of late, and now Miles Johnson. He's going to shoot the 3 and miss it. Boy, they settled that time. 5 minutes and change to go here in the third. This is Foster. South Bend Adams being very patient on offense. They've really done a nice job, especially in that execution of their last play to Shaq Johnson. And he's got a nose for the rim and around the basket. Here's King. There's one thing that they will try to be is very patient. Nice reverse layup by Worsham. That's when South Bend Adams plays their best basketball, is when they can get in the half court and really maneuver the basketball. And they passed really well over their last 2 possessions. Well, that's a travel right there by Miles Johnson. He misses it and gets it back. Wildcats catch a break on that one. Back to a 9-point lead. Homeschool really trying to slow this thing down. Foster in the corner for 3. Can't get it to go. One and done there. The rebound, Roscoe. Back the other way as Ruddle with the left hand missed it. Shaq Johnson with a rebound for South Bend Adams. Lead pass to Worsham. His layup good. Worsham now with 4. And Homeschool's going to get another timeout. 3:56 remaining here in the third quarter. And right now, South Bend Adams on top of this one by 11.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
11-point lead as Indy Homeschool called another quick timeout. They've called 2 timeouts now here in this third quarter as they're down again by 11. See what they may have set up right here after the timeout. This is Ruddle. Eagles, good defense again. The rebound by Foster, lost it. Picked up and in the lane, good. There is A.J. Rogers. So the turnover leading to 2 points. Back to a 9-point lead, and Homeschool now with the steal. And I believe we've got a foul call. South Bend Adams got to be prepared for the trap and the press, and they were not. Quintez Columbus is going to check back into the ball game now for the Eagles. Nine turnovers now by South Bend Adams. Ben Foster now will inbound the basketball. They may have called that a jump ball, and of course the possession arrow now in favor of Homeschool as that ball is knocked out of bounds by Luke Ruddle. 3:26 remaining. Sidney Jeffries was about to check in for the Eagles. He will come back to the bench. Good look at Worsham. Boy, I tell you what, Shaq Johnson's a pretty good jumper, I believe, but not quite that good. Worsham thought he was 6'11" and sent that ball sailing into the stands. 10 turnovers now by South Bend Adams. That three is missed. Samuel Wirtz in the ball game, his first shot. Driving and missing the layup is Foster. Wildcats will come away with it. Nearly stepping out of bounds, though, was Ruddle. Under 3 minutes remaining. We stay at a 9-point lead for the Eagles. Boy, Shaq Johnson running into Samuel Wirtz. No foul call, incidental contact. There's a drive basket, good by A.J. Rogers again. 8 points now by Rogers, and the Wildcats making a run, down by 7. Here comes South Bend Adams once again, 3 in the corner. Another one missed as Foster can't get it to fall, and that's going to go back over to the Wildcats. Well, here is Sidney Jeffries checking in. So now the Wildcats a chance to close the gap. That second timeout in the quarter has done wonders now for the Wildcats. Eagles getting a little more hurried up in their offensive approach. They did a pretty good job in those 2 possessions where they ran their offense, and there's a foul call against Jeffries. And when South Bend Adams ran their offense, they were executing it well. But then they got a little bit of a running game, and it's cost them in the last couple of possessions as well. So South Bend Adams, again, a better basketball team, it appears, unless they have a clear cut fast break. They're better in the half court. Here is A.J. Rogers, and a blocking foul called against Lynn King. 2:06 remaining here in the third. That'll be team foul number 3 now on the Eagles here in this third quarter. Wildcats off the inbound on the baseline, and that's going to be a 5-second call. Turnover for the Wildcats, their 13th turnover. And as you can see now, the Wildcats will continue to zone trap. They'll go hot on the sidelines if they get a chance. How about that? Stepping out of bounds, Worsham. 11 turnovers now by South Bend Adams. And Worsham made that cut back toward the middle, but just stepped on the end line, so a huge turnover. And again, the Wildcats will get it back, down by 7. This is Miles Johnson. Boy, a guy that can get hot pretty quick is Rogers. There's a turnover. Here come the Eagles back the other way, and a foul call, and that's going to send Jeffries to the line for 2. Boy, Wildcats get a little bit of momentum going, and then that turnover, that's their 14th turnover. Rogers just picked up his second, team foul number 3 now on the Wildcats, and here's Jeffries. We don't keep a running total of when the last time was that South Bend Adams had scored, but it's been a little bit. Second free throw is good, so 2 free throws by Jeffries. He has 4. Back again to a 9-point lead. Rogers trying to get it inside. Ball came loose, and Ruddle is there to lay it in. Ruddle with 6. Back to a 7-point lead. 3-on-2 break the other way. Here is Rogers again. Nope, that's going to be Shaq Johnson, laying it in. Not a very good job on the Wildcats in transition defense. The 3 the other way, no good. Jeffries the rebound. Here we go again on the run. Basket good, and a foul as Worsham will lay it in. And just like that, the lead back to 11 with 1:17 remaining here in the third. Into the ball game now for the Wildcats, Noah Shook. And here's Worsham looking to complete the 3-point play. He will not. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Lynn King. And Chad Johnston Well, they're going to say no. That's going to stay right here with the Eagles. So Eagles basketball, nice inbound play, layup good. Ben Foster with 5. So no turnover on the Eagles on that last possession. That's way short. Miles Johnson with a rebound off the miss, put back good. Back to an 11-point lead. 56.2 seconds remaining. Eagles able to get it across the timeline, and here is Shaq Johnson. He along with A.J. Rogers. Shaq says, I'll shoot it right over the top. Eby and hit it. Shaq with 18 points. Wildcats the 3-0. They're one and done at the other end. King with a rebound. Here come the Eagles again with 30 seconds remaining. Here is Shaq, and basket good, and he's going to be fouled by Roscoe. It is all South Bend Adams. They're going on a huge run here at the end of this third quarter. That'll be number 4 now on Roscoe. Lynn King coming out into the ball game, James Williams, and here is Shaq Johnson. 22 now by Johnson. Worsham coming out of the ball game. He has played well, and especially here in this third quarter. They'll buy him some minutes with 28.2 seconds remaining in this third, and the free throw is no good. Battle for the rebound, and finally Samuel Wirtz will come away with it. 54-39, 15-point lead now by the Eagles. Boy, nice drive, and unable to handle it is Wirtz. It is kept in bounds. So the Wildcats will get it back. 3-point shot on the way, good by Shook. 7 points by Shook. Back to a 12-point lead. Here is at the buzzer. The shot in the corner, good by Foster from 3. Big bucket by Foster to end the third quarter. We will head to the final 8 minutes of play here at the Tiernan Center. South Bend Adams on top of this one by 15.
Mancino's is family friendly, serving fresh grinders, pizza, pasta, and salads daily. They serve great food priced for family budgets. And whether it's one of their homemade grinders, salads, or pizza, there's sure to be something for everyone in your family. Our baking process may cost a little more and take more time, but the end result of freshness and flavor make the real difference in all of Mancino's award-winning products. Mancino's of Richmond. Give them a call at 966-1161 or go to their website, mancinosofrichmond.com. Little Sheba's Restaurant and Zini's Place. Come join us in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue or at our newest location in Centerville at 129 East Main Street. Grab one of our gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, plus more in our smoke-free environment. 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home.
8 minutes remaining in this one before we'll see if South Bend Adams can hold on, or will the Wildcats make a comeback here in the fourth. Right now, this is the best we have seen South Bend Adams play, as that three is no good. The rebound by Samuel Wirtz to keep it alive for the Wildcats, and the right hand by Miles Johnson. Back to a 13-point lead, and now the Wildcats will have to press. Eagles lose it. Turnover. Number 12, the three's missed by Ruddle. Here come the Eagles again, this time not having to worry about that trap from full court. But now you know it. Wildcats will extend things. In the passing lane here for Indy Homeschool, trying to force some turnovers. Columbus on the drive, the floater good. Well, they got everything going right now. Columbus now with 6 points. Back to a 15-point lead. Here's Miles Johnson. He got away with a travel. There's a floater in the lane, good. Johnson having a nice game despite being in foul trouble. There's another turnover. Miles Johnson with the steal. Eagles turn it over 13th time, and then they'll give it right back. Here is the drive of the basket, good by Jeffries. He'll be fouled. And one thing about homeschool in this game, they just have not had good transition defense, and we will have a 30-second timeout. Remind you, today's game being brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school group or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on that transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice in your name. Tell your friends, family, and colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. Give him a call at 969-3400. We will head to the free throw line. Jeffries now with 6 points. 6:36 remaining in the fourth. Franklin and Indy Northwest Homeschool coming up next. That is a noon start time. So again, Jeffries completing the three-point play, 62-46. One guy right there, Miles Johnson, they want to get him a little closer to the basket. Nice pass inside, layup good by Mitchell Wirtz. 62-48, and there's another turnover, layup good by Johnson. And the Eagles not handling the press very well here. 12 points in the second half, another turnover, and another layup, the basket good. And just like that, it's a 10-point ball game. Eagles with 15 turnovers, 2 in a row right there, and it cost them. So now Rettel a chance to complete the three-point play. That foul was called on Jeffries. 6:02 to go, and this game is all of a sudden right back in striking distance for the Wildcats. But the free throw is missed. The rebound, Shaq Johnson. Johnson hard to the floor. Here is Lynn King. He thought about shooting it, but wisely gives it back out front now to Worsham. Boy, how quickly a game can change as Worsham gets it inside to Shaq Johnson. Readjusted his shot, gets the rebound back, and will be fouled. Boy, he took it right at Miles Johnson at 6'6". Rettel picks up his first. And here is Shaq Johnson at the line for two. 22 points by Johnson, and now make it 23. And boy, they needed that point right there. They were starting to fall apart because of that press and the turnovers. But now leading it by 11. He is one of the better players you're going to see at 6'1", and guy can rebound and score. And that's going to be a foul call against Worsham on a three-point shot. So South Bend continues to make mistakes, keeping homeschool Wildcats right in this ball game. So here is Rettel at the line, and the first one is good. He'll get two more. Never foul the jump shooter, and never, ever foul him in three-point range. Of course, in my day of playing, we didn't have a three-point line. We earned our 2 points and our third if we had to. He gets all three. Those were the good old days. 64-55. And ball almost turned over. We'll stay here. That's when he utilized the big man. Didn't have to worry about half-court offense. He ran a fast break. The good old days. 5:18 remaining. Here's Shaq Johnson, matched up against Mitchell Wirtz. Johnson powers his way in, has it blocked by Miles Johnson. Shaq double teamed underneath, and now the other way, Miles Johnson lays it in. And all of a sudden, here we go again, a 7-point ball game, 4:56 to go. Eagles trying to hold on. They had a double-digit lead moments ago. Foster on the drive. Boy, a lot of contact, no whistle. Wow. Foster earned every bit of that one as we go the other way, and now Shaq Johnson gets called for a foul. I'm trying to figure how that can't be a foul here of some kind. You had definite contact between two people. Somebody went hard to the floor. I would have called a block simply because he was inside the circle, but should have been something there. Noah Shook now at the line for the Wildcats. I know you want him to be tough and play through it, but that might have been a little bit much. Second free throw is good by Shook. 9 points by Shook. Back to a 7-point lead, 4:36 to go. Little zone trap again by the Wildcats. This has caused the Eagles a lot of problems. Here is King. He's a little shaky with the basketball. He wants to give it up, and he does so. Worsham. Well, now, we said earlier that the Eagles play much better in the half court when they're controlled, and they did it right there. Layup good by Jeffries. That's where they're better. They can run a little bit, but not unless it is a controlled fast break and an offensive foul on Miles. Miles Johnson. Turnover again for the Wildcats. That'll be number 16 on the Wildcats. So now that wasn't that much contact at that end. There's a kick ball by Miles Johnson, but at this end, you had a ton of contact and no whistle. I like Coach Johnston. He was yelling at his post players, get to the middle of the floor, and there's a turnover by Worsham. You know, he stepped out of bounds on the end line earlier. This time he steps out of bounds on the sideline. He does not discriminate against that red line. Well, Coach Johnston, he was going after his two post players. They were standing back. You have your three guards up there trying to get the ball up the floor. Nobody going to the middle. That is a no-no. You got to have that middle covered. Here's Miles Johnson for three. Yes. How about Miles Johnson? He's playing with 4 fouls, and he just nailed a downtown three. It's a 6-point lead. Eagles trying to hold on here in the 4. There's a lot of time remaining, and we've got a timeout by Coach Johnston and South Bend Adams. We will take a quick timeout as well. 68-62 here in the 4.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
This again is our second game of the day. Our camera operator sometimes a little shaky this morning. You shouldn't bump that camera like that. It slipped. Step 9. All right, 3:39 remaining. You're not following step 9 yet. It makes a lot of sense. All right, here we go. 3:32 to go, and South Bend Adams holding on to the basketball. Here's Jeffries. Wildcats extending now. They've gone man-to-man. Shaq Johnson, Miles Johnson. Turnover again for the Eagles. Coach Johnston beside himself. And now the Wildcats down by 6. 3:07 remaining. Chance to close the gap even more right here. Here is Wirtz for three. Missed it. Long rebound. Two Wildcats at the same time going after the loose basketball. That was Ruddle and Sam Wirtz. And it goes out of bounds. Back over now to the Eagles. There's your zone trap again. And tell you what, South Bend, they are very shaky on this press. Here is Jeffries to Shack. Shack with a right hand. Missed it inside, and the rebound by Mitchell Wirtz. Boy, Shaq Johnson doesn't miss many of those. Here's Miles Johnson for three. No good. Not the best look right there for the Wildcats. Down to 2:30 to go here in the fourth. 68-62. South Bend Adams with the lead. There's a traveling call. That's a good call. Ben Foster took a couple of extra steps. He's coming out of the ball game. Worsham is back in. Now down to 2:21. Back in the ball game, we'll see Roscoe come in. The old Roscoe. Wildcats off the inbound. And now, Indy Homeschool trying to close the gap with just over 2 minutes remaining. Ruddle loses it, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by South Bend Adams. Game 3 coming up, as we said. That tip-off time set for around noon. Step back, three on the way, short. As Shook couldn't get it, but another offensive rebound now for the Wildcats. Here is Johnson. Miles, 6'6", handling the basketball out on the perimeter. Will find Shook in the right corner. Shook will stop, pivots, looks inside to Johnson. A lot of time coming off the clock right here now for the Wildcats. Here is Shook for three. Good. 3-point ball game. South Bend Adams back the other way. They quickly changed direction, and guess what? They turned the ball over again, but got it back. No turnover time, or actually the possession did not change. 1:25 to go here in the fourth. Today's game brought to you in part by Best Western Classic of Richmond. If you're looking for a place to stay here in the Richmond area, stay at the Best Western Classic. You get the most amenities available, including indoor pool, fitness center, conference space, free buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and, of course, a clean, quiet, comfortable room. Best Western Classic of Richmond, 533 West Eaton Pike. After this one, Franklin and Indy Northwest. That is again scheduled for noon, depending on how the rest of this one goes. And right now, the Eagles just trying to hold on. They have been very shaky with the basketball over the last couple of minutes. Question is, can the Wildcats, do they have enough in their comeback? 23 points by Miles Johnson. 16 points by Riddle. Is that, we'll take that back, 4, 6, 8, 11 points by Riddle. There's a drive, Miles Johnson with the block of Jeffries. It'll stay here with the Eagles. Here's Shaq Johnson. Draws the double team, almost lost it. Worsham able to receive the basketball. That was a shaky pass by Johnson. They can't hold the ball, though. That's at minute 8. That's their problem. Another turnover. Eagles, 19 turnovers. Jeffries out in the ball game now. Columbus, 1:06 remaining. 68-65, and now a chance here for the Wildcats to perhaps tie the ball game with a three. South Bend Adams had a double-digit lead here in the second half, and they let it go. Here's a three from the top. It's good. Shook for three, and we're tied at 68. 48 seconds remaining. Wildcats battling back here in the second half, and South Bend Adams tried to hold on, and they can't do so. Here's Foster with the basketball. 37 seconds to go. It'll be Columbus. Columbus off the drive, and wait a minute, we've got a timeout called by South Bend Adams. 30.6 seconds remaining here in regulation. And we may see another overtime, as right now we're tied at 68.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. In a small town, a company like theirs cannot stay in business for as long as they have without being very good at what they do. It's not just about quality work, it's about customer service. If that's the kind of experience you want on your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Call Reynolds Plumbing today at 966-0994.
They want a comeback for the Wildcats here in our second game of the day, and boy, South Bend Adams, they let this one just simply slip right out of their fingers. They don't handle pressure well at all. 19 turnovers on one side, that's the Eagles. 16 turnovers by the Wildcats, so each have had their share, but those big turnovers late here by South Bend Adams. Off the inbound. A dangerous pass to Worsham. 29 seconds. Worsham down the lane, scores. Worsham with a big bucket, 2-point lead. 21 seconds remaining. Here's Miles Johnson. Wildcats basketball. The floater on the way. That's good. That is Roscoe for two. 11 seconds remaining. South Bend Adams may have one last look. That shot's missed. Rebound, Shaq Johnson. Ball loose. 3 seconds to go. At the buzzer, no, and we've got another overtime. This will be our third overtime of this tournament. 4 minutes coming up right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, they are advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. Richmond Power and Light provides reliable, low-cost energy and technology services in a customer-focused, environmentally responsible, safety-conscious manner. Richmond Power and Light, together we make powerful partners. Summit Computer Systems is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware service, support, design services, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and more. Summit Computers, 1427 Chester Boulevard in Richmond. Give them a call at 939-2120.
I don't have all the information on overtimes at the Wettig, but we've had now 3 overtimes, a double overtime last night, and now we'll play another 4 minutes right here. So we're going to be a little bit behind schedule again for the third game of the day. We saw our earlier contest work pretty quickly, but now we're into another OT, so it will be Eagles basketball. Again, they let this one get out of their fingertips with a double-digit lead in that second half, and now they're playing to try to stay alive in the consolation side as Worsham hits the basket, and South Bend Adams now leads it by 2, 72-70. Here is Miles Johnson for 3, no good, and he goes to get the rebound, blocked out there by Lynn King. Eagles quickly back the other way. And now the Eagles will set it up in the half court. And there is Foster for 3, no good. Ball tipped by King inside, and there's the rebound put back by Columbus. 4 unanswered now by the Eagles. They lead it by 4 here in our first overtime. Quick release in the corner. Three-pointer is missed. Able to get the rebound is Roscoe. Here's your 3 from the top. No good by the big fella Mitchell Wirtz, and another opportunity for the Wildcats, and they cannot get points. So now the Eagles with a 4-point lead and the basketball. You had a short turnaround time from yesterday to today, and now the Eagles trying to hold on for an overtime win. 2:30 to go. That is Shaq Johnson. Make sure the double team isn't there. Dribbles out of it one time and gives it up now to Worsham. Right now the Wildcats are going to have to really ratchet up their defense a little bit right here. Worsham on the drive, nothing there, so Wisely kicks it to King. That is Shaq Johnson again, who backs it away on the double team possibility. Now you got to go to the basketball, and there's another timeout. And Coach Johnston going right after Quintez Columbus because Columbus didn't go get the basketball. Just a very fundamental aspect of this game where your guards got to go get it. Don't leave your big guys out there in no man's land on an island all by themselves. Next game, as we said, Franklin, Indy Northwest homeschool. It looks like right now that's going to be probably around a 12:10, 12:15 start time. Winner of this game will play again tonight at IU East at 6. The loser of this game will have about a 3-hour turnaround time. They'll have to play Lighthouse East at IU East at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then those teams will be done for the day, and then we'll start thinking about the final day on Saturday. 2 minutes remaining here in overtime, our third overtime in 2 days here at the Wettig. South Bend got a timeout, and guarantee you one thing, that Quintez Columbus won't make that mistake again. Coach Johnston, boy, he turned it over, though, or nearly turned it over, and they did. Wow. Boy, if you're going to make a move like that, if you're Quintez Columbus, do something with a basketball. Either shoot it or get it back outside, but don't just drive into traffic and lose the ball. So Columbus makes a huge mistake again. And now the Wildcats will have the basketball down by 4 here in overtime. There's a steal, staying in bounds. Nope, Worsham stepped out of bounds. Each team will be charged with a turnover. 17 now by the Wildcats, 21 turnovers by South Bend Adams. Here's Miles Johnson. A lot of contact. He traveled with it, no whistle. Here is Wirtz for 3. Boy, how they didn't call a travel again on Miles Johnson is beyond me. Back to a 1-point lead. I know Johnson got hit in the face and really stopped and then took a step or two, and no whistle. Here is Shaq Johnson. Double teamed and then lost it. Tried to dribble through a double team. Miles Johnson spinning and a blocking foul, and we're going to go to the line. Boy, South Bend is a really tough team to figure out. They make some really silly mistakes, unforced errors, and just simply giving up the basketball way too much. Foul's going to be called against Worsham. He just picked up his second, 1:03 to go, and a chance to tie right here with Miles Johnson. You have a 4-point lead. 2.5 minutes remaining, and you've coughed up the basketball a couple of times here in the overtime. Johnson now chance to give the Wildcats the lead, and he missed it. And the tip out back to Johnson. So now the Wildcats under a minute remaining here in overtime. Boy, Miles probably got to get himself down around the basket. He's playing with 4 fouls. You have a size advantage over Shaq Johnson. Miles playing in the high post, and then they throw it away. Wow. How in the world do you do that? Ruddle was looking to his left, and I don't know if he wanted it to go to Miles Johnson or the fan in the front row. He hit the fan in the front row. That's shaky basketball. Turnover again, and a timeout by Northwest. Eagles have turned it over 23 times, and Worsham can't even get it past midcourt. This will be a full timeout here. It looks like it's going to be a full. Well, it's hard to tell as the Wildcats are on their bench, and for South Bend Adams, they are all staying up. Boy, another big turnover by the Eagles. One thing that is keeping them in the ball game right now is the Wildcats have made some silly errors as well. They'll give them a lot of credit for battling back from a double-digit deficit, able to make this a game into overtime. Well, they should probably go thank the Eagles, too, for as many giveaways as they have had in critical situations. So 32.2 seconds remaining. And it will be Wildcat basketball. Coach Johnson right there making sure everybody is covered even on the inbound. So now, Indy Homeschool, Wildcat basketball. Here is Rettel. Johnson trying to get loose and get away from Shaq Johnson. Rettel trapped on the sideline, and they have to call another timeout. We'll take a quick break as well. We're in our first overtime. Right now, we're tied at 74 with 17.2 seconds remaining.
Mendenhall's True Value in Richmond is your local source for the things you need at home or your business every day. Everything from hardware, tools, carpet cleaner rentals, window and screen repair, lawn and garden supplies, as well as hunting and fishing licenses. It's all in one place at Mendenhall's True Value Hardware, right around the corner at 125 Southwest 5th Street in Richmond. Give them a call for more information at 962-4842. Today's game is being brought to you by Tri-County Awards in Richmond. Customized awards and quality engraving services. When you come to Tri-County Awards, you'll get nothing but the best customer service. We take pride in our prompt service and easy availability. Celebrate success with a gorgeous medal, trophy, or plaque from Tri-County Awards. We've been crafting awards since 1972. Choose from a wide variety of designs and styles. We're a locally owned and family-operated business. Tri-County Awards, 1001 South East Street in Richmond.
Wildcats off the inbound, 16 seconds remaining in overtime. Let's see what they've got drawn up, and they nearly run into each other. Ball is loose on the floor, 8 seconds. It'll be South Bend Adams basketball, 4 seconds to go. King at the buzzer, can't get it to go. Rebound by Foster, and we'll go to another overtime. Overtime number 2, our second double overtime in 2 days. We'll come back with another 4 minutes right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.
After the unexpected, expect us. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Fayette, Rush, Union, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Auto, home, life, renters, farm, crop, and business coverage. Coverage you need in a language you know. We take customer satisfaction seriously and don't take a cookie-cutter approach to your coverage. For more information, call 800-723-3276 or go to their website, in.farmbureau.com. For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. In a small town, a company like theirs cannot stay in business for as long as they have without being very good at what they do. It's not just about quality work, it's about customer service. If that's the kind of experience you want on your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Call Reynolds Plumbing today at 966-0994.
Well, we have our second double overtime game as we will see this one now for another 4 minutes. And it'll be South Bend Adams basketball. Worsham will go right wing now to Columbus. Well, you can look at it two ways. Either the Eagles gave that away in the fourth quarter, or Homeschool earned it themselves. There's Shaq Johnson, and just like what we saw in the first overtime, South Bend Adams gets the first 2 points here in our first OT. Johnson did not score in the first overtime, and that's going to be a foul against Columbus trying to take the charge. So Columbus picks up his second. And Miles Johnson, 24 points, will head to the free throw line here in our second overtime, and now it's a 1-point ball game. 25 now for Miles Johnson. Second one no good. And we'll stand a 1-point lead now for South Bend Adams. And believe me, they can't hold onto the basketball that long. They won't even, you can't even think about that. You got to run your offense right now. Entry pass to Foster. There you go. Boy, they're better when they get under control, but when they get playing a little bit faster than they want to, they will chuck that ball around. Wildcats, three-pointer in the corner, good. That is Shook for three. Tying the ball game at 78. .237 to go. Here in our second overtime. This is Columbus down the lane, blocked out of bounds. Miles Johnson, who, by the way, has stayed in this game. He's had 4 fouls for quite some time. Wildcats really rely on his length down low at 6'7". Off the inbound, that one is too hard. Rebound tipped up and went in the rim, but came from the bottom side, and it'll be Wildcat basketball, tied at 78. There's a travel, and they got him. That travel against Roscoe. That'll be their 20th turnover. So now you're looking at a 10-minute time between the end of this one and our next game. So they'll move it along pretty quick. We had about a 20-minute break after the first game, but now we're in the second overtime. That is Shaq Johnson. Jump hook on the way, good. He is only 6'1" or so, but he does that pretty well. 26 points by Shaq Johnson. Three-pointer the other way by Mitchell Wirtz. And we're going back and forth, 81-80, second overtime. South Bend Adams basketball. There's Shaq Johnson again. He has a lot of contact with Wirtz. No whistle. Wirtz had to have gotten him with a body, but no whistle. Chad Johnston can't be happy with that. Here's Miles Johnson, the kick out. Good ball movement. Here's Wirtz again, the three way off. Here come the Eagles again. This time off the glass. Missed. Put back no by Worsham and Foster. And the rebound pulled down by Mitchell Wirtz. The Wildcats across the timeline holding on now to a 1-point lead. That is Miles Johnson. Good look at Ruddle. Boy, for the Wildcats, you try maybe to hold right here until. That's a near travel again by Miles Johnson. Try to make the Eagles foul you if you can. And, boy, I tell you what, a near turnover again. That's Miles Johnson in the corner. Here's a three on the way. That's good. Big bucket again by Roscoe. And it is a 4-point lead here with 34 seconds remaining in our second overtime. Here's Shaq Johnson. Basket good, and he's fouled. Boy, at 6'1", he is about as powerful as you can get for as small as he is, playing down in that low post for South Bend Adams. Wirtz picked up his third, and big free throw right here now for Shaq Johnson. 28.7 seconds remaining. And it's back to a 1-point ball game. Now the Eagles will have a decision to make right here. When might you try to foul, but you can't if you don't guard the guy underneath. And Shook got loose, laid it in. Back to a 3-point lead. Still a chance with 12 on the clock. Here's King. Looking for the three. Nope, it'll be Shaq Johnson. Basket good, and he's fouled by Wirtz. Wirtz just pulled a boner right there. Oh, my. How in the world did you foul right there at 6.5? You let him lay it in, and then you get it in bounds and make him foul. That's just not a very smart play by Wirtz. So now Shaq Johnson, chance to tie the ball game. 6.5 to go. Johnson's free throw's on the way and good. Tied at 86. 5 seconds remaining. Miles Johnson. Here's a three at the buzzer, and guess what? Triple overtime. We will take a quick break. Neither team wants to win this one. Third overtime coming.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Little Sheba's Restaurant and Zini's Place. Come join us in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue or at our newest location in Centerville at 129 East Main Street. Grab one of our gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, plus more in our smoke-free environment. 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home.
Well, I'm sure the tournament director is really starting to get a little bit nervous. You go into another overtime, so we're going to be probably 35 to 40 minutes behind our regularly scheduled time. It depends, and again, on how this thing finishes out, but right now, here's a three on the way. That's no good. Is Ruddle. He looked like he might have gotten hit on that play, so now it'll be South Bend Adams basketball. We're in our third overtime. First time I can remember a triple overtime in this Wettig tournament. Neither team played this one very smart at times. Here's Columbus on the drive and lost the basketball. Ball tipped in the air, picked up. It'll be Wildcat ball. 3:18 remaining in our third overtime, and there's Miles Johnson for three. He has 28. So now a 3-point lead for the Wildcats. Adams back the other way. Shot is going to be missed by Worsham. Out on the run the other way, and laying it up is Roscoe, and a quick 5 on the board now for the Wildcats, and coming back and scoring will be Foster. And Foster with the lay-in, timeout by South Bend Adams. And you could hear Coach Johnston giving again a Stella what for to his Eagle basketball team. 2:52 to go, and again we'll make adjustments to the schedule here today. Our next game again, Franklin and Indy Northwest waiting and patiently waiting. We have seen some of the Northwest players trying to get some warm-up time. They have a gym upstairs here at the Tiernan Center just trying to keep loose, and they'll have about a 10-minute warm-up time, I believe, is what they'll do between games. Now, that might change, but generally they've given them 10 minutes to warm up, but if both teams are ready to go, maybe they'll just give them 5, and here we go. But again, triple overtime here, and a big bucket just moments ago by Miles Johnson. What's amazing about Miles Johnson is he is still playing with those 4 fouls through the fourth quarter and 3 overtimes. Adams on the trap. Miles, boy, reaching up and grabbing that one with his big hands and able to bring it down. Johnson down the lane, lost it. Turnover Wildcats. South Bend Adams the other way. Shaq Johnson with a rebound. Got undercut. Rebound put back is good by Foster. And it's back to a 1-point ball game. Homeschool 21 turnovers, and at the other end, basket good by Wirtz. Wirtz with 15 points, 93-90 in our triple overtime. Losing it in the lane is Columbus, able to get it back on the baseline. Here is Foster for three. That's good. Tied at 93. We haven't decided this one yet either. We may go for 10 or 12 overtimes. Here's Wirtz. Give the assist to Johnson. Back to a 2-point lead. 95-93. 1:50 to go in our third overtime. They have 7 on the board. It feels like 7 overtimes. In the corner, Foster, another 3. Good! Foster again. And now 1-point lead. Boy, Foster huge here in our third overtime. 1:30 to go. Wildcat basketball. Here's Miles Johnson. Well, they may let him shoot it right there, and he will. And missed it. Rebound pulled down by King. And now the Wildcats trying to play from behind. Turnover again for the Eagles. Out on the run, and then a strip foul call on Columbus. As Shook will go to the line. How in the world did South Bend Adams give up that basketball right there? 24 turnovers unofficially on the Eagles. And now Shook will go to the line. Chance again at 1:07 in our third overtime to give the Wildcats the lead. Now tied at 96. We're going to see Jeffries come in. Out of the ball game will be Columbus. I don't think Coach Johnson's very happy with Columbus. Second free throw is good. And Northwest, they're going to call a timeout. And this will be a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. We're in our third overtime. 97-96. Homeschool on top by 1.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Well, these two teams in their third overtime, still 1:07 remaining and still nothing decided. A lot of fans, I'm sure, that are waiting for the next game to get started, enjoying watching this one. And there, I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if we went to a fourth, because neither team able to stop from making some pretty silly mistakes in key situations. So now it'll be Eagles basketball. Down by 1. See what South Bend has in store. Shaq Johnson against Miles Johnson. The little cross. Miles made the switch, and then they turn it over. Eagles did it again. Wow. 25 turnovers now by South Bend Adams. And now the Wildcats can force South Bend to foul right here. It's a 1-point lead with 37 seconds remaining. The question is, can the Wildcats keep from turning it over? They've had a busy day with 21 turnovers. Good look here at Ruddle. Well, you got to do something here pretty quick. A lot of time coming off the clock, and Coach Johnston screaming at his team, and there's your foul as Shaq Johnson puts a little shimmy that time on Miles Johnson. 18.5 to go. 28 points here for Miles Johnson. Even if he hits both, you're still at a 3-point lead. And plenty of time for South Bend Adams to get a good look. We saw Ben Foster. He might be the guy to go to. For the 3, he hit 2 in a row. Second one is good. So now, again, you're looking to get a 3-point lead, 16 seconds to go. There he is, Ben Foster, short on the shot. Rebound, Miles Johnson. And now the Eagles will have to foul, and that could be an intentional, and it is. They got Lynn King. He didn't make a play for the basketball. He just shoved Miles Johnson. And so South Bend Adams with 9.2 really didn't have any choice but to make that call. So here's Miles Johnson. He'll be there for 2, and the Wildcats will get the basketball. So that's going to do it for this one. 100-96, a 2-possession game. Second free throw is on the way and good. And tell you what, Eagles have no one to blame but themselves, really, in this one. They gave up a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. And then some key turnovers in all 3 of these overtimes. But now the Wildcats with 9.2 inbound and 7 seconds to go and nothing to do here for South Bend Adams. They don't even need to foul at this point, as that's going to do it. We went to triple overtime before the Wildcats pulled off the win. Your final score, Indy Homeschool 101, South Bend Adams 96. Thanks for being with us. This is the Wettig Tournament right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.